So we are going to start with the third part of the chapter, and before that, some students, they asked me some doubts. So the first doubt I'm going to take is the third one. So if some of you have this doubt, you can just check the method. I'm just going to show you. A sum of money is lent at 8% per annum compound interest. If the interest for the second year exceeds that for the first year by rupees 96, find the sum of money. That is I2 minus I1 is 96. We have to find the principal and the rate is 8%. Right? Let's do this. Okay, so this is the third question. They are saying that I2 minus I1 is equal to rupees 96. The rate is 8% per annum. We have to find the principal. Let the principal, I'm always writing principal, be rupees P, not X. We'll take it P. Now first year, for first year, P1 is equal to rupees P, R1 is equal to 8% per annum, and T1 is equal to 1 year. So we can find I1, which is P1 into R1 into T1 upon 100. So this will be 2P by 25. See, this is what we had to find in the first year, but we cannot proceed to the second year unless and until we find the amount. So P1 is P is 2P by 25. Take LCM, 25P plus 2P, 27P, 25. This is the interest for the first, this is the amount for the first year, right? Now for the second year. For second year, P2 is equal to A1, 27P by 25. R2 is same, 8% per annum. T2 is 1 year. I2 is P2, that is 27P upon 25 into 8 into 1 upon 100. So 4 2s are 4 25s are. I2 becomes 54P upon 625, and that's it. We don't need to solve any further because we just have to find I2 minus I1, which is rupees 96, and the value of I2 is 54P upon 625 minus the value of I1 is 2P upon 25. 625 and 25, LCM is 625, 25 25s are, so 54P minus 50P upon 625 is equal to 96. So 4P upon 625 is equal to 96. So P is equal to 96 into 625 upon 4. 4 14s are, I think so. Yes. No, not 14s are. 96, 24s, I'm sorry, 24 fours are 96. So that's my mistake here. Let me correct it. So principal is rupees 24 into 625. Let me just check the answer. This is question number 3 of 2B, 15,000. 625 into 24. Must be 15,000. Right, so that was the first doubt. Question number 3. Whoever asked me this doubt, they actually made a mistake. They did not I2 minus I1, but they did A1 minus A2 minus, sorry, I2 minus A1. So that's why they were getting wrong answer. But anyhow, this is solved now. Now the next doubt, which is question number, somebody asked me question number 11. See this? A man borrows rupees 10,000 at 5% per annum compound interest. Okay, he repays 35% of the sum borrowed. So first repayment. Now I'm not going to solve the whole question, but I'm going to give you a hint. First repayment is equal to 35% of sum borrowed. What is the sum borrowed? 35% of the sum borrowed. What is the sum borrowed? 10,000. So you need to find 35% of 10,000, which is rupees 3,500. So this is the first repayment amount. I will walk you through the whole solution. So don't worry about it. I'm just easing your doubt over here. First thing, okay? Because I know that everybody, they have issues with percentage. So I don't know what is your doubt, but let me just get this thing straight first. And 42% of the sum borrowed at the end of second year is repaid. So second repayment is equal to 42% of the sum borrowed. So 10,000. That is 42 upon 100. Off means multiplication. I hope you remember percentage from last year. So this will be rupees 4200, 4200. Right? So you got first repayment, second repayment. Now the final question is, how much must he pay at the end of third year in order to clear the debt? So they are asking what will be the amount at the end of third year after doing all these repayments. We have done one very similar question in the solved example. Only thing, the repayment amount was given there directly. The repayment amounts were given directly, but here we had to find the repayment amount in the terms of percentage. Right? So what you would do here? See, I will just walk you through. First, you will do the calculation for the first year. Right? So you know the principal, you know the rate. Principal is 10,000, rate is given to you. Rate is what? Rate is 5% per annum. Right? You know the time, 1 year. You will find I1. Right? You will find I1, and then you will find A1 amount at the end of 1 year, which is P1 plus I1. Right? After you find A1, what you will do? A1 minus the first repayment. Now this guy is repaying 35% of the sum borrowed, which is 3,500. So A1 minus 3,500. This is the balance amount at the end of first year. Balance. Okay, this balance will become P2. So for second year, your P2 is going to be this balance amount. So you know what is P2. right? That is that balance amount carry forward over here. You know the rate, you know the time, R2, T2. Okay, then you can find I2 again, and then A2, which is P2 plus I2. And then from A2, you will subtract 4,200, which is the second repayment amount, 42% of the sum borrowed, 4,200. And when you subtract this, you will again get a balance amount, which will be carry forward and will become P3. Then you will do the calculation for the third year. I was about to make a video, separate video for guiding all the questions, but you guys completed the exercise without asking many doubts. That's why I'm just solving the doubts for you at the beginning of the third part, right? So that shouldn't be an issue. So third year, what will be the principal? P3. And what is P3? The balance from the second year after doing the repayment. So we know P3, we know R3, we know T3. We can find I3. Find I3 and then find A3. What will be A3? A3 will be P3 plus I3. And this will be, whatever answer you get, this will be the final, uh, final, what you can say, how much must he pay at the end of third year. So the final payment he has to make at the end of third year to clear his entire debt. This is the process. This is the step you have to follow for question number 11. If you have doubt in 11, follow these steps. If you have any more doubts, you let me know. I will help you. So I have solved, I have helped with question number 3 and question number 11. Right, so I think this should be clear now, and we have to move with the with the third part. Let's go to the third part. Cool. Can we just zoom out a bit? Does it become too small? Yeah, it does become very small. So okay, that's good. First we have to do this one. Okay, let's begin. So what is the question all about? Let me check how many questions are there in this part. In the third part, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 questions, and that's the last part. Okay, so we are finally on the last part. There are 8 questions in total. Let me check how much I can record. I can record, definitely I can record, but let's see how much I can go in one stretch, right? If I can't, then I will definitely stop the video in between and make another video. But you will be seeing as one video because I'll be editing and merging them. Okay, let's start with question number 14. 14 solved example. A sum of money invested at compound interest payable annually. The amounts of interest for 2 successive years are 2,700 and 2,800. You know what they have given? They have not given the principal. You don't know what is the principal. They have given the amounts of interest in 2 successive years. To any 2 successive years. Right? That is 2,700 and 2,800. Can be first and second year, can be second and third year, right? Find the rate of interest. So they have not given the principal, neither they have given the rate of interest. Neither they have specified the time for which these two interests are given for the successive years. Like whether they are for the first and second year or second and third year, they are not given that. They have not given anything. Just two interests of successive years, and they have asked us to find the rate. Very, very interesting question. So whenever they give you the interests or amounts or yeah, interests or amount, that's it. If they give you interests for 2 successive years or amounts for 2 successive years, finding rate of interest is possible only without formula. In the second chapter, that is, sorry, in the third chapter, that is the next chapter, they will never give you such problem. You cannot use formula to find such answers. You cannot find rate. If the interest of two successive years are given, you cannot find rate with using formula. You have to use without formula. So what is the method here? See the method. Let 2800 minus 2700 is equal to rupees 100 be the interest for 1 year on the principal of rupees 2700. Read this sentence once more. I'm going to read it once more for you and explain what I've done. What I've done is I've subtracted 2800 and 2700. The difference of the interest in two successive years. The difference of interest or the difference of amounts for two successive years becomes the interest for 1 year. And the lower interest, that is 2700 in this case, or the lower amount becomes the principal. I will repeat, I will write this again. In these kind of questions where you have been given the interest for two successive years or amounts for two successive years, to find the rate of interest, what you have to do, listen to me carefully and note this thing down. To find the interest, to find the rate of interest, what you have to do, you have to take the difference. Okay, note this. This is the note. This is not part of the solution. This is a note, special note for you. The difference between the interests or the amounts of two consecutive years becomes the interest, becomes the new interest. This is the new interest. So you must be wondering why sir is saying amount. There is no amount over here. Yeah, but in certain cases, in some questions, you will also find they are giving you in the questions amounts of two consecutive years. So the same method has to be used. The difference between the interest or the amounts of two consecutive years becomes the new interest. And the lower interest, the lower interest or amount, which is the lower out of 2700 and 2800, which is the lower interest out of 2700 and 2800? 2700. So the lower interest or the lower amount becomes the principal. You understand why I have taken 2700 as principal? Because it is the lower interest out of the two consecutive interests, right? And the time is 1 year. Time is taken as 1 year, right? So this is special note for all of you. You may note it down. Very, very important, right? I love doing all this. I think I'm replacing that whiteboard and taking a smart board in the classroom. I like to play around, right? It's fun. Cool. Okay, so let's solve the question. The principal now is rupees 2700. The interest now is rupees 100. The time now is 1 year, and we have to find the rate. It's very easy. We'll use the formula for simple interest, which is PRT upon 100. The interest is rupees 100, principal is 2700, rate we don't know, time is 1 upon 100. This zeros cancel, so R is equal to 100 divided by 27, right? R stays here, 27 goes to the other side. So what is the answer? Let me check the answer. Hey, there is one mistake in this question. There is one mistake which I would like to one typing error which I would like to clear right now, because I have the textbook and I just checked, and I have been really struggling with this typing error for a long time now. Because every year I come across this question and there is this typing error. Here it's not 2800, okay? So the real question in textbook is 2880. So let's make some changes. Nothing changes. The pattern, the technique does not change. Okay, the technique remains the same. I'm just going to make this as 2880. So this will become 2880. So what is 2880 minus 2700? What is 2880 minus 2700? 180. Okay, so 180 will be the interest. Let me change it over here also. It will be 180. Let me change it over here also. This will be 180, and finally this will be 180. Okay, right? 180 will be the interest for 1 year on the principal 2700. Everything remains the same. Gladly we found out the silly mistake, typing error, right? Okay, 180 by 27. Let's bring it in the lowest terms. So 9 threes are 27, 9 20s are 180. 20 by 3. 20 by 3 will be 6 1 by 3. 6 threes are 8. 6 2 by 3. I'm sorry. 6 threes are 18 plus 2 20. 6 2 by 3%. Rate of interest is in front of you. So easy, so small, just a small concept which you must put in your mind, right? So we are moving on to the next question. If you feel like, watch this video again, watch this part again of this video and try to get this in your head, okay? Because we are going to face such kind of questions more and more in this particular part, and there are more such questions coming up in the exercise, but there are none of these kind of questions coming in the next chapter, third chapter. Next question. Okay, a certain sum of money placed out at compound interest, so principal is unknown, amounts to rupees 6272 in 2 years, amounts to rupees 6272. So this is the amount after 2 years, amount at the end of 2 years. How much it is? 6272. And to rupees 7024.64. And to rupees 7024.64 in 3 years. A3. Rupees 7024.64 in 3 years. Find the rate of interest. R. Find the rate of interest and the sum of money. And the sum of money. Let me just check it. And the sum of money. Yes, it is and the sum of money. So you have to find the principal and the rate of interest. Now in this question, can you tell me what should be the method? Can you tell me means can you tell yourself? They have given you the amounts for consecutive years. The amounts for 2 consecutive years. That is the second year and the third year. And you have to find the rate of interest and the principal. you can find the rate of interest. I just told you the method. What is the method here? If they have given you the amount for 2 consecutive years, the difference between the amounts becomes the interest, the new interest, and the lower amount becomes the principal. So let the interest, new interest, be 7024.64 minus 6272. I think now is the time to pause the video and solve it yourself and check with me once you have solved. Right? So do it. Please do it. Okay, I will go ahead. So the difference between the interest becomes 752.64. 752.64. And therefore, new principal is the lower amount. Which is the lower amount? 6272. Therefore, I is equal to PRT upon 100. So what will be the time? Time being 1 year. Why? Why we have taken the time as 1 year? Because these are the amounts of consecutive years. What is the difference or gap between consecutive years? 1 year. So I is 752.64 is equal to principal is not known. Oh, I'm sorry, 6272. What am I doing, man? I have to find the rate first. Okay, so the new principal is 6272 multiplied by R multiplied by 1 upon 100. 100 goes over to that side. This becomes 752. 725 नहीं 752. तो ऐसा लिखने में भी गलतियां हो जाती हैं. So I can very well relate with you guys when you are making silly mistakes. So 752.64 into 100 upon 6272 is equal to R. Right? So what will be R? So R will be 75. Oh my god, how many times, man? 75264. Okay, the decimal places are removed with the help of zeros upon 6272. Now I have to divide this big number. So when I divide this big number, I get 12%. So the rate is 12%. Now I know the rate. Now what do I have to find? I have to find the principal. The rate is 12%, but what is the principal? Now comes the important part. Let the original principal be rupees P. Therefore, for first year, principal is equal to rupees P, rate is equal to 12% per annum, time is equal to 1 year. So I1 interest for the first year will be P into 12 into 1 upon 100. 4 3s are 4 25s are, so 3p by 25. So can you tell me what will be A1 amount at the end of 1 year? P1 plus I1, which is P plus 3p by 25. I'm using P method. I'm not using 100 method as shown in the textbook. I'm always a fan of this method. I'm going to use this method. Okay, I suggest you also use this method because you are going to get directly the answer of P. Alright, so this will be 25p plus 3p, 28p upon 25. Right? This is for the first year, amount for the first year. For second year, P2 is equal to A1. So 28p upon 25. Okay, R will be 12% per annum, 12% per annum. Time will be 1 year, year. Okay. What will be I2? I2 will be 28p upon 25 into R is 12 upon 100 into 1. Correct. So anything can be cut over here. Yeah, many things. So 4 threes are 4 25s are. So I2 interest for the second year will be 28 threes are 28 threes are. Let me just multiply over here. 23s are 60 and 8 threes are 84. 84p upon 625. This is the interest for the second year. So what will be the amount for the second year? Amount for the second year will be P2 plus I2. Big calculation is coming up. 28p upon 25 plus 84p upon 625. Okay, we'll take the LCM over here. So 28p into 25. Just a moment. 28 into 25 is 700. So A2 is equal to 700p plus 84p upon 625. That is 784p upon 625. And guess what? We already know A2. A2 is the amount for the second year. What is the amount for the second year? Look here. They've given in the question 6272. So just equate it with 6272. Right? So 784p upon 625 is equal to 6272. So I'm sorry, P is equal to 6272 into 625 upon 784. So let me calculate. 6272 multiplied by 625, okay, divide by 784. That gives you rupees 5,000. Okay, rupees 5,000 is your original principal, which you can write in a statement. Right. So what we did first for finding the rate, we used the new method which we just learned. Now we subtracted the interest for or amount for 2 consecutive years, and we got our new interest, and the new principal became the amount for the lower year, that is 6272. We took time as 1 year and we found the interest using the formula of simple interest. I is equal to PRT upon 100. We got the rate as 12%. Then we took the original principal as P, and we found the amount for the first year in terms of P, and then amount for the second year in terms of P. And the amount for the second year we equated with A2, which we already had, 6272. When we equated, we found P as to be rupees 5,000. Correct? Let's go to the next question. Question number 16. A person invests rupees 10,000 for 3 years at certain rate of interest compounded annually. Okay, so what is 10,000? That's your principal. For 3 years, your time is here. At certain rate of interest, rate is not given. At the end of 1 year, this sum amounts to rupees 11,200. Hey, you can find the rate because you know the amount at the end of 1 year. The amount at the end of 1 year minus the original principal will give you interest for the first year. If you know the interest for the first year, if you know the principal for the first year, if you know the time, that is 1 year, you can find the rate. So the first thing you have to do is find the rate. So you can solve it yourself. Pause the question and solve it. Okay, then only you go ahead. Amount at the end of second year, no problem. Once you find the rate, you have to find A2 and it's not a problem. And amount at the end of third year, which is A3. So this question has to be solved by you. But can you find the rate? Yes, you can find the rate. You can find the rate. You know the principal. What is the principal? P1. P1 is rupees 10,000. Right? You know the amount at the end of 1 year. It is rupees 11,200. So can you tell me what is I1? I1 will be A1 minus P1. That is 11,200 minus 10,000. And how much will this be? 1,200. This will be the interest for first year. Okay, now you can use the formula of interest. I is equal to PRT upon 100. What is your interest? 1,200. What is your principal? 10,000. What is your rate? I don't know. What is the time? 1. What is here? 100. So you can find the rate. Right? After finding the rate, find amount at the end of second year and amount at the end of third year using the same technique which we have done till now. Right? So this question has to be done by you. Right? We are going to move ahead now. Before we go ahead to the next question on part 3, there are some topics which are discussed here, some new points which I would like to discuss with you about this new topic. The first point which I would like to tell you, because all the upcoming questions are based on this particular points, right? It's the same part 3, but it's another topic. So this topic is known as relation between simple interest and compound interest, right? I will just write over here, relation between simple interest and compound interest. So first thing to keep in mind is simple interest and compound interest are same. Simple interest and compound interest are same for the first year. For the first year, simple interest and compound interest are same on the same sum and at the same rate percent. On the same sum, on the same sum means same principal and rate. If the principal and rate are same, then simple interest and compound interest are same for the first year. That's the first point. The second point you should remember is, suppose we are talking about two consecutive conversion periods. For two consecutive conversion period, just a moment, for two consecutive conversion periods. Conversion periods means years or half years. For two consecutive conversion periods, that is years or half years, as given in the question, two things are to be kept in mind. Number one, if compound interest for first period, that is first half year or first year, right? The compound interest for first period is X. If compound interest for first period is X, then compound interest for next period can be found out directly by using the formula X plus R percent of X. X plus R percent of X. And what is R? R is the rate percent. X plus R percent of X. And what is R? R is the rate percent. Right? R is the rate. So you can directly find the compound interest for the next period. That is next half year or next year. If you know the compound interest for second year and if you know the rate, you can find the compound interest for the third year. right? So this is one very important thing you should keep in mind. The second thing is, if the amount, if amount for a particular period is rupees X, then amount for next period can be calculated. Then amount for next period is equal to X plus R% of X. The same thing. If you know the amount for fourth year, let's say, you can find the amount for fifth year. Just add the amount of fourth year plus R% of amount of fourth year to it, you get the amount of fifth year. So in this way, you can find directly find the compound interest for consecutive years and amount for consecutive years, right? And so that is one thing. Actually, one more thing I would like to bring to your attention is, this is about simple interest. Suppose if simple interest for, let's say, 4 years is rupees 1000. Suppose simple interest for 4 years is rupees 1000, then simple interest for 1 year is equal to rupees 10,000 divided by 4, that is rupees 250. And you know why is that? You know why is that? This is because simple interest, since simple interest for every year remains the same. Simple interest for every year remains the same. So if simple interest for n number of years is given to you, then you can find the simple interest for 1 year. That is the total simple interest divided by number of years. Simple interest for every year remains the same. So these are the few points which you should keep in mind before solving the questions from the next part. Please make a note of them and we are moving ahead, okay? Great. Okay, next question is, the simple interest on a certain sum computes to rupees 600 in 3 years, and the compound interest on same sum at the same rate for 2 years computes to rupees 410. Find the rate percent. Here you have to use the relationship between simple interest and compound interest if you can. Now see, the first statement would be simple interest for 3 years on a certain sum. Of course, we don't know the sum. We don't know the principal. We have to directly find the rate. Simple interest for 3 years is equal to rupees 600. So can you find the simple interest for 1 year? Yes. Therefore, simple interest for 1 year is equal to rupees 600 divided by 3. That is rupees 200. Now you know one more thing. Also, simple interest for first year is equal to compound interest for first year, right? For the same rate and same sum, because we have been given on the same sum at the same rate, right? So simple interest for first year is equal to compound interest for first year. Therefore, compound interest for first year becomes rupees 200. Rupees 200. Okay. Next is what they have given, compound interest for 2 years. Compound interest for 2 years is equal to rupees 410, right? See, for first year the compound interest for 200, for 2 years together is 410. So can you tell me what will be the compound interest for second year? Compound interest for second year will be compound interest for 2 years 410 minus compound interest for first year 200, and that is rupees 210. This is the compound interest for second year. Now we know the compound interest for first year and the compound interest for second year. Now we can find the rate, and for finding the rate we just uh, did this kind of question in the previous examples. So let the interest I is equal to 210 minus 200. The difference of interest of 2 consecutive years becomes the interest, that is rupees 10. And the lower interest, 200 is lower or 210? 200 is lower, of course, right? So also the principal, the new principal is equal to rupees 200, and time is equal to 1 year. So we can find the rate. So I is equal to PRT upon 100. So I is 10, P is 200 into R into T upon 100. So 10 into 100 upon 200. Okay, T is 1 over here. Okay, 10 into 100 upon 200 is equal to R. So it will be 5%. Rate will be 5%. Right? So this is the application of the newly learned topic which I just showed you, and let's go to the next question. I hope you understood the concepts over here. First concept which I used was, if simple interest for 3 years is given, we can find the simple interest for 1 year, that is total simple interest divided by 3. Second is, the simple interest for first year is equal to compound interest for first year. And if you know the compound interest for first year and compound interest for total 2 years, you can find the compound interest for second year by subtracting them. Then once you have got the compound interest for 2 consecutive years, you can find the interest. Let's go to the next question. The compound interest calculated yearly at 10% on a certain sum of money amounts to rupees 665.50 in the fifth year. So they are saying that the compound interest for the fifth year, I5, is equal to rupees 665.50. Calculate the compound interest for the sixth year at the same rate and on the same sum, I6. And calculate the compound interest for the fourth year on the same sum at the same rate. No need of principal over here, right? I4. And what is the rate? The rate is 10% per annum. Now see how to do this. We have just, I've just told you some important points regarding the relationship between, not the relationship between simple and compound interest, but just the relationship between compound interest of consecutive years. So what are the compound interests of the consecutive years? How are they related? I just told you. Compound interest for sixth year is equal to compound interest for fifth year plus 10% of compound interest of fifth year, right? If you add the rate percent uh, multiplied by the compound interest of the current year with the compound interest of current year, you will get the compound interest for the next year, right? So I5 is equal to 665.50 plus 10 upon 100 into 665.50. Okay, here 0 will cut. This will become 66.55, and if you add it, you will get rupees 732.05. This is the compound interest for the 6th year. How to find the compound interest for the 4th year? This is interesting. Please pay attention. Let the compound interest for the 4th year, that is I4, be rupees X. Now I4 plus 10% of I4 is equal to I5. You relate with this? Compound interest for 4th year plus 10% of compound interest of 4th year is equal to compound interest for 5th year. That's the relationship we studied. So what is the compound interest for 4th year? We don't know. So X plus 10% of X, right, is equal to I5. Now what is the compound interest for 5th year? 665.50. Let's solve this. X plus 10 upon 100 into X is equal to 665.50. Okay, this will be cut, and 10x plus x is 11x by 10 is equal to 665.50. So x is equal to 6655 divided by 11, which is 605. Yes, rupees 605. So this is the compound interest for 4th year, rupees 605. Very easy, right? No need to take principal as x or anything. If you know the relationship between the compound interest for consecutive years, these questions are very easy to solve. So I want you to remember the method. Also, these questions cannot be solved using formulae, right? So now you know the pattern of question which can be solved in this particular chapter's methods only, right? Let's move to the next question. Hey, where is the next question? Yes, 19th. A sum of money at compound interest amounts to rupees 8,105 in 5 years. Okay, so what have we got here? Amount of 5th year, rupees 8,100, and to rupees 8748, to rupees 8748 in 6 years. So we have got the amount after 6 years. Find the rate percent, amount in 7 years and amount in 4 years. Very easy, these two. Okay, I will show you. Let's do it. Let's do together so that you don't get doubt later on. Now, let the interest is equal to the difference in amount of consecutive years. That is 8748 minus 8100. That is rupees 648. This is the interest. Also, principal is equal to amount of the previous year, 5th year, that is rupees 8,100. Principal is the amount of 5th year, that is rupees 8,100. Okay, now since we have got what is the interest and what is the principal, we know that time will be 1 year, so we can find the rate. What the rate will be? See, interest will be PRT upon 100. Interest is 648 is equal to 8,100 into R into 1 upon 100. So R is 648 divided by 81. I think 81 8 is 648, correct? So 8% is the rate. You found the rate. Now we have to find the amount in 7 years. What is amount in 7 years? A7. And the amount in 4 years. Now the same relationship which can be applied to the consecutive compound interest of the consecutive years can be can also be applied to amounts of consecutive years, right? So A7 will be A6 plus R% of A6. We have found the rate, okay? 8%. A6 is 8748 plus 8% of 8748. That is 8748 plus 8 upon 100 into 8748. If you simplify, if you solve this, you get rupees. I'm directly writing the answer because the method is clear now. 9447.84. How will we find A4? Let amount in 4 years be rupees X. Therefore, amount in 4 years plus R% of amount in 4 years is equal to amount in 5 years. So X plus 8% of X is equal to amount in 5 years. And what is the amount in 5 years? 8,100. So X plus 8 upon 100 into X is equal to, just a moment, cool, 8,100. So this will be 108x upon 100 is equal to 8,100, which will give you x is equal to 8100 into 100 upon 108. Okay, we can cut it with the help of 9. 9 hundreds are 9 12s are 4 3s are 4 25s are and 3 30s are. So this will be 3 hey 3 300s are, sorry, 3 300s are 900. So this will be 7500. So amount in 4 years will be rupees 7,500. No need of taking the principal SP and doing all the complicated method. If you know the relationship between amounts of consecutive years or compound interest of consecutive years, these questions are very, very simple. I hope now the pattern, the method is very, very clear to you. Next question. Okay, this is the second last question. Let me see whether I should do it for you or I should leave it for you. Let me see how complicated is it. If it is very much complicated, I'm going to do it for you. If it is not, then I'll leave it for you. A sum of rupees 9,600 is invested for 3 years at 10% per annum at compound interest. Okay, so this is the principle. And the new thing about this question is they've given the principle, time, rate. What is the sum due at the end of first year? Huh? What? What is the sum due at the end of first year? They are asking about what is A1. What is the sum due at the end of second year? A2. My God, this is so simple. Find the difference between the answers in second and first and find the interest on this sum for 1 year. Oh, so they are asking you to find A2 minus A1. Suppose A2 minus A1 is X, right? And they are asking you to find the interest on X for 1 year. So they are asking you to find what is 10% of X, right? Hence, write down the compound interest for the first year. And then they are asking you what is I1. So you will find a pattern over here and I want you to do it. So you understand what to do? See, please understand what I'm telling you right now. Pause the video, do it, and then answers are here. You can check your answer. Okay. First thing, you know the principle, time, rate. Find A1 amount at the end of 1 year, A2 amount at the end of 2 years. Then do A2 minus A1. That is difference of amounts of 2 consecutive years. Whatever value you get of A2 minus A1, you have to find the interest on it. So that means rate percent is 10%. Find 10% of X, right? And that 10% of X will be Find the interest on this sum. Yes, yes, yes. That 10% of x will be equal to I1. I1 is compound interest for the first year. I think so. I don't know. Fourth. Is it so? Just let me check. Hey, one second, one second, one second, one second. Hence, write down the compound interest for third year, not first year. There is a typing error. Hence, write down the compound interest for third year. Great, I read the question. So not I1, but I3. You have to find I3. How will you find I3? You have any idea? See, whatever interest you will get over here, that is 10% of x, right? That will be the interest for 1 year. That will be interest for 1 year. So what you have to do, you have to do I2 plus this 10% of x. I2 plus 10% of x will give you I3. Remember, for the last question, how you have to find I3? I2 you have already found in the process of finding A2. Plus, you have to do 10% of x. 10% of x you have already found over here. This will give you I3. Right? So interest for 2 years or interest for second year plus 10% of x, that is 10% of the difference between the amounts of 2 consecutive years, will give you the interest for the third year. This sum has to be solved by you. Okay, very simple question. And we are on the final question of the chapter, question number 21. I will do it for you, don't worry. The cost of a machine depreciated by rupees 4752 during the second year. Okay, so let me write it this way. Depreciation during second year. You know what you mean by depreciation, right? Depreciation means to decrease. And in these kind of problems, how we find the amount? Amount will be equal to principal minus interest. And what will be the interest? Interest will be the depreciation. Okay, so remember, depreciation during second year is equal to rupees 4181.76. And what is depreciation during second year? Depreciation during second year is I2. I2 is rupees 4181.76. Hey, I made a mistake again. I'm sorry about that. I will correct myself immediately. So depreciation during second year is rupees 4752. So I2 is rupees 4752. And depreciation during third year is equal to rupees 4181.76, and therefore I3 is rupees 4181.76. So we've got I2 and I3, and I3 is smaller than I2. Remember, because this is a question of depreciation, where amount is found by subtracting the interest, that is depreciation, from the original value, which is principal. Calculate the rate of depreciation. Okay, let's first find the rate. Now let I2 minus I3 is equal to 4752 minus 4181.76, which is equal to rupees 570.24. B, the interest for 1 year on principal being P, is equal to rupees. What will be the principal? The principal will be the uh, amount of the previous year. Previous year is second year or third year? Second year. That is 4752. Don't consider this as your principal because it's a lower value. In case of depreciation, we take the lower year. In all the cases, we take lower year, okay, not lower amount or lower value. So principal is rupees 4752. So now we've got principal, we've got interest. So I is equal to PRT upon 100, 570.24 is equal to 4752 into rate. Okay, now the rate has to be found out into time 1 upon 100. So this will be 57024 divided by 4752 is equal to rate. Therefore, the rate is equal to, if you simplify this, you get 12%. So we found the rate of depreciation. The value of the machine depreciates by 12% per annum. Okay, now second question, you've got the answer of one question, so 1 mark is in your pockets. Actually 2 marks for this. Okay, this was a long method. Okay, second question is the original cost of the machine. Original cost of the machine. Now we know that the machine depreciates by rupees 4752 during second year. And original cost they have asked. There is no way to go back and find the original cost. So we have to use this method. Let the original cost of the machine be rupees X. Therefore, for first year, P is equal to rupees X. Principal is rupees X. Rate is equal to 12% per annum. Time is equal to 1 year. Okay, so we know the principal, the rate, the time. Now what? Now we'll find the interest, which is PRT upon 100. 4 3s are 4 25s are. So interest is 3x upon 25. Now comes the most important part, the amount at the end of 1 year. It will be P1 minus I1 because here it's a question of depreciation. So x minus 3x upon 25. So 25 minus 3 is 22 x upon 25. 22x upon 25. Okay, so we found the amount at the end of 1 year. Now what? For the second year. For second year, the principal for the second year will be rupees 22x upon 25. The rate for the second year will be 12% and the time will be 1 year. Again, we'll find the interest I2. This was I1. 22x upon 25 into 12 upon 100 into 1. Can we simplify this? 4 3s are 4 25s are. Nothing can be simplified further. So I2 will become 66x upon 625. Right? So this is the value of I2. Now we'll find, because in the question we have given the cost of machine depreciated by rupees 4752 during second year. Yeah. So we have found the depreciation for second year. Therefore, depreciation for second year is equal to rupees 66x upon 625, and 66x upon 625 is equal to, we know the depreciation during second year, it is 4752. So we equate it with rupees 4752. So x is equal to 4752 into 625 upon 66. So we get it as rupees 45,000. After solving, we get it as rupees 45,000. This is the original cost of the machine, right? So that's the answer of the second question, original cost of the machine. Third question is the cost of the machine at the end of third year. Cost of the machine at the end of third year. Okay, now to find the cost of the machine at the end of third year, we have to uh, now this gets interesting over here. See, we don't know the depreciation during the first year. So what are we going to do? What is I1? Depreciation during first year is I1. And what is I1 equal to? You know what is the rate? The rate we found to be 12%. So that is I1 is 12% of the original cost of the machine, 45,000, right? So 12% of 45,000, let me find this, 12 upon 100 into 45,000, 0 0 cut, and we get 450, sorry, 4,500 plus 900, that is 5,400. Let me just verify. 12 multiplied by 450, 5,400, I'm sorry, 5,400. So depreciation during first year is 5,400. Similarly, we know the depreciation during second year, 4752. Also the depreciation during third year. Depreciation during third year was how much? 4181.76. 4181.76. So this is the total depreciation. Therefore, total depreciation in 3 years, total depreciations in 3 years is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3, which is 5,400 plus 4752 plus 4181.76. If you add them all, you will get the total depreciation, that is rupees 14,333.76. This is the total depreciation in 3 years. What they have asked us in the last question, you know, the cost of the machine at the end of third year. Therefore, cost of machine at the end of third year is equal to original cost of the machine. What is the original cost of the machine? It is rupees 45,000, right? We found it out. Minus 14,333.76. So if you calculate this, you will get 30,666. Sorry, 30,600, correct, 0.24 rupees. So this is the cost of the machine. It decreases every year and subsequently it becomes rupees 30,666.24 at the end of third year. So this was the last question of the chapter. The exercise 2C is based on this concept which we have discussed in this particular video. So I hope you'll be able to do the whole exercise. It has got around 18 questions and 2D has got 11 questions. So 18 plus 11 is 29 questions, and that's your homework. That's a big homework, right? I'm going to give you 2 days for that. And then we are going to start with the third chapter. So I hope you liked this video. We have completed a huge chapter, that is the second chapter, compound interest, and I'm sure you enjoyed it. I have, let me tell you very frankly, I have not taught with this passion in my live class this particular chapter because it was never my favorite. This chapter is not my favorite, let me tell you, right? I like trigonometry, algebra, I like geometry at times, but not compound interest. So, but it is good. It is good. We enjoyed it. Uh, this online thing has helped me a lot, right? So, just let me know if you have any doubts, and I'll see you in the next class. Bye bye.